cider and a switch knife. Ride the dawn on his motorbike. Looking for legends on the Sunset Strip with a stone cold paranormal partnership. Nashville Town Rick tried to sell me some crack. Listen to the podcast, man, and take that shit back. It's Urban Legends, the podcast about urban legends. And here your host, Neil and Chris. You'll receive our pod in your ears tonight.
Hello and welcome to this week's Urban Legends, the hit podcast. Well, that's a lie. The podcast about urban legends and other such mysterious things and stuff and that kind of thing that's happened or hasn't happened or exists or doesn't.
Non-confusing description there, Chris. Nice one.
Thanks very much. I am Chris Flynn, and I was born 42 years to the day that Leon Trotsky died, and 4 years to the day before Usain Bolt was born. Now, coincidence? I'll let you decide. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Mr.
Neil Herbert.
Hi, Neil. How's it going?
I'm just having my mind blown by those amazing facts, Chris. Those really hooked the listeners in, I would imagine.
They're pretty good, weren't they?
Can't stop listening now.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, you know...
Imagine what else is going to come out.
Does it all point to something? I don't know now.
I'm going to have to get some cards up all around the walls and put some red string connecting them up to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah.
Can't do it without that, Chris. Or like Kerry from Homeland, just like colour a load of things in purple and a load of things in yellow or whatever.
And have a mental breakdown.
Yeah. But it's good because, you know, mental illness gives you an insight into things. Yeah, classic trope.
Yeah, like when people are having manic episodes. Yeah. Do you know what? They're the most logical.
Yeah.
They don't think they're Jesus or anything.
That's why I have a local homeless schizophrenic as my fund manager. Not on the winning formula, but you wait. I'm going to be the next hedge fund billionaire.
Yeah, how much are you investing with him each week?
30 grand in the hole at the moment.
Right. Okay. But
company's getting a bit moody. I don't think. But at least you blame my financial strategy.
But at least you put your flat up as collateral.
Well, as Rishi Sunak said, I think it was just today, you know, you've got to be prepared to take risks. Not just like all these lazy fuckers going to work and expecting a wage.
No.
You've got to start a company and take risks and grow.
Well, Neil, as you know, I've recently been made redundant, and I'll be honest with you.
Starting up a new tech business?
Yeah. What I'm going to do is, instead of trying to find a new regular source of income, I'm going to spend my gardening leave developing a new app.
Nice.
Yeah.
Solid. Rishi would approve.
I'm going to try and sell it to the government, obviously.
I mean, I won't lie to you, Chris. It helps if you, A, have friends in government, and B, a nice little multi-million cushioner to tide you over while we're taking risks. But
yeah, that might help, yeah. I don't have either of those,
that shouldn't put you off.
No, it shouldn't.
You've got a true entrepreneurial spirit.
Hey,
Done.
Hey, with your redundancy money, get yourself a Raspberry Pi and invent the new Microsoft.
Invent Robocop. People getting a bit chippy at the moment. We need more Robocops.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Too much protesting going on.
Need a bit more compliant.
Is protesting illegal yet? Pretty much, isn't it?
Let's be.
Yeah, unless it's silent. And
well, no, it's perfectly
if it's
legal.
silent and they're groups of no more than 3.
Yeah, it's perfectly legal. Yeah, with a small number in it in the right place. Just have a protest in some car park off the M25 or something. It's fine.
Yeah, but no more.
Pet them all in there.
Yeah,
it's beautiful democracy we live in, isn't it?
It's certainly what it calls itself.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. For that. So have you? So this is with 3 recordings in a week now. How are you feeling? Are you enjoying your increased contact with me?
No, I'm coming out in hives.
Coming out in hives.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just got loads of love bites.
And you want to see the... Yeah.
I do not want to see whatever you're going to say, the state of something.
I just rethought what was going to come out of my mouth, but no, I'm not going to go there.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to see it.
Okay, well, shall we...
having distressing physical ailments that it's causing.
Yes.
So let's get through this one, Chris.
Okay, Neil. So shall we dive straight in?
I tell you what, why not? Yeah, you've got a fun. Is it a fun one? I don't know. Actually, is it?
It's a mystery, that's for sure.
I hate people like mysteries. That's why Lost was.
Yeah. Are you one of them?
Was so big. I do. I enjoyed Lost.
Did you?
Yeah, I even didn't mind the ending actually.
Why are you moaning
It's a
about
lovely
it?
20-year-old reference, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
But those mystery box shows are still quite popular, aren't they?
Mm. But this is one. So I think a lot of people would have, if they're listening to this podcast and they're probably into stuff slightly outside the mainstream, although this was in the mainstream news as well. And it was shared a lot on the internet because there was like a proper photograph and everything.
Yeah, I think our listeners will be a bit counterculture, a bit bohemian, a bit hip, you know what I mean?
Boho.
Yeah. You know, a bit of the avant-garde.
Cool
yeah.
Cats, avant-garde, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beatniks.
Yeah.
Got a lot of beatniks listening.
Figure out how to go back to like 19th century slang or something.
Mm. Hey, man.
Hep cats. That's what I'm
Hey, we love
50s.
mysteries, man. Lay it on me, daddy-o. That's
Exactly.
yeah. So
up to the minute slang.
Up to the minute. That's
London
London slang.
Yeah.
Down which
Ute. Yeah.
So today we are going to I'm going to read from an Observer article, which is an actual reputable newspaper.
It certainly is, yeah.
And it's not right wing.
Makes a change.
It's one of our two non-right wing papers out of all of the country.
Yeah. The Independent's not. It's kind of centre left, I will argue, but yeah, possibly centre.
Yeah. Don't start me on centrists.
Oh dear. Anyway, get with it.
What's that about? No, because it's just moral relativism. Because what is the centre? What would the middle bit between two extremes? All right, centrists, what's your view on slavery? For or against? Well, I think there should be some
arguments for and against. You've got to have a fair and balanced debate about it, haven't you?
Yeah, there isn't a centre to everything. So this article by Ellen Killeran is from 2018. 7:47 a.m.
Good to know. It's good that we got some specificity about the time there.
Yeah, you notice you got specificity about the time of day and not the dates. You just got the year.
Yeah.
That's how I roll. So, 10 years later, the Montauk Monster is still a weird, gross, and dark mystery.
Oh, we've got another monster.
Got a monster. Neil, so I'm going to ask you to pull up a picture of the Montauk Monster and see if it tugs at your heartstrings or your memories.
My heartstrings or my erotic strings.
Possibly.
Hey, you might do.
Possibly.
I could get round to work.
So, so this is Montauk Monster. So a lot of people would have seen this, I think.
Bear with me a second. I'm having technical issues.
That's all right. I'm going to start reading.
Yeah. I'll be looking this up while you're doing that. I think it's because I've got two monitors on the go.
Oh, Bobby dual monitor.
Yeah.
I've got three monitors. I've got three.
Oh, you've bee's knees. Talking about slang.
Yeah, I am the bee's knees, actually. Yeah. I'm a tech. I've got to have the three monitors to do my app now that I'm I'm a tech whiz kid.
Well, the more monitors you have, the more money you'll make. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Treble the coding if you've got three monitors.
Yeah, and it saves you buying glasses.
That's true.
So, the Montauk Monster began its reign of terror in July 2008.
Is he meant to be sitting with a Barack Obama?
No, I think that's a meme.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, Barack Obama did disappoint us all, so maybe he, at some point, to boost polling, got the Montauk Monster into his cabinet.
Yeah, and fist bumping the Montauk Monster. Well, I mean, he's probably the best president. I mean, he would have been nice.
I might get
obey like he said he was going to. But
yeah, best of a bad bunch, but still disappointing.
Fair enough. Certainly the only one I would go out for a beer with the last. God, how long would it be? Even?
Yeah, but he wouldn't go out for a beer with you.
Of course he wouldn't. He's got some fucking class.
He'd rather hang around with the Montauk Monster, as you can see.
Which you can see, he's fist bumping him.
Yeah, not fist bumping you, is he now?
That's true.
Are we gonna? Is this going to be another?
There's a low amount of memes involving me, unfortunately, Chris. I don't know. These are. I'm looking at Google Images.
Yeah.
And what's weird as well, Chris? Google has turned on safe search blurring.
Right.
And there's a lot of blurred images.
Why?
Well, I don't know. Doesn't want me seeing anything I shouldn't.
What?
Is strange carcass on Staten Island. This image may contain explicit content. Google's become very censorious. Okay, so there's like an animal corpse.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a kind of like a cross between a wolf and I don't know.
So that's the Montauk Monster. So the Montauk Monster began its reign of terror in July 2008 when the ghastly creature washed up on the shore of Ditch Plains, a popular surfing beach on the Montauk Peninsula. 3 young women claimed to have first spotted the beast at the tail end of New York's Long Island and snapped a photo of the bloated, bruised carcass that appears to have been scorched by the sun. Or maybe it was fire. The photo would soon fascinate and revolt the millions who laid their unfortunate eyes upon. I mean, I don't think it's that disgusting.
It's not that bad. I mean, its back half looks like a roast chicken. Quite tasty, actually.
Yeah, not bad.
And then the front is kind of like, I don't know, it's like a shaped bird or something. It's got like a beak kind of thing, but with teeth, with sharp serrated teeth. And
weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, got a hybrid. I'm wondering if this has been sewed together from different bits and pieces.
But it doesn't look like there's any sewing bits, does it?
No, it's not. No, obviously there has been. Interesting.
So revolt the millions who laid their unfortunate eyes upon it. So the revolt and unfortunate there, I think, were just put in because they needed to hit a certain word count. After Gawker published the image in an 87-word blog post that sent the internet ablaze.
Oh, I remember when Gawker could do that.
Was it a pit bull?
Hulk Hogan.
Was it a pit bull mercilessly defeated in an illicit dogfight? An escaped mutant from a mysterious animal disease research centre on nearby Plum Island?
Medical experiment gone wrong.
Could be.
Or a brave entrepreneur just trying to breed a new kind of awesome pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking risks, Chris.
Or a brave entrepreneur trying to breed a new way of cheaply managing goods in their fulfillment centre.
Yeah, they'd be like the ideal Amazon worker or something.
Oh, why did you have to name them?
So you can get sued, get some publicity.
Yeah.
Or it could be like you get these in movies, don't you? There's always this sort of thing where there'll be some monster and they'll try and make it into a soldier or something. World's stupidest idea. I think that was a plot of one of those new Jurassic Park movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they wanted to turn the T-Rexes into like soldiers and that.
Oh,
it's like, well, it's good because what we can do is we can
point Zoids.
Yeah, what you could do is you could point this gun at like a thing and then press the trigger and then the dinosaur would attack them.
Oh, right.
What possibly would have been more efficient would be to actually have bullets in the gun and just fire those at the target. It's not the lethality of a gun that we're, it's really, we've over-engineered this a little bit, I feel.
No. Point the gun, fire. It doesn't fire a bullet. It fires a tiny thing which gives off pheromones, which then gets these dinosaurs to maybe or maybe not attack it.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, they're fairly chaotic. I mean, the paratrooping velociraptors were a bad idea, I'll say that. I think who would have known the entire fleet of planes would end up crashing into the ground? We filled them with a load of angry dinosaurs. Yeah, it never seems like a particularly good idea.
Yeah, and Tyrannosauruses famously shit at shining their own shoes. So, discipline problems.
The amount of Eton drill sergeants, it's just not worth it.
So, From the Mysterious Research Centre of Plum Island, a raccoon robbed of its fur in a post-mortem tumbled through the sea, a turtle without its shell. But turtles don't have teeth.
Yeah.
Dogs don't have dinosaur beaks. All anyone could agree on was that they had never seen anything like the Montauk Monster before. Like most of us, I first saw the photo by way of the Gorka story. I don't remember doubting for a second that the creature in the photo existed, whatever it might be. It was real. At the time, all I cared to know was, what in tarnations is this thing? And then later, where is it? Then and now, the story of the Montauk Monster is a slippery one. To try and make sense of it is like trying to hold a cup full of sand in your fist. To the best of our knowledge, the infamous photo was taken on the 12th of July 2008. It has been credited to Jenna Hewitt, who was joined by her friends Rachel Goldberg and Courtney Fruin when they reportedly stumbled on the carcass during a leisurely day at the beach. It would be 2 weeks before the beast landed on the radar of New York City medias. The Gorka Post was published on July 29th. In that brief period of relative quiet, tales of Viking funerals, grave robbings, and alleged Photoshop hijinks whispered among the shadows of the Montauk dunes. Away from the spotlight's glare, few of us may ever know for sure what really happened, but we know this. By the time proverbial sirens came blaring, someone had time to hide the body.
See, this is the part that makes me suspicious. I'm assuming now all we have of evidence is a photo rather than actually a corpse that somebody could dissect and stuff.
Well, we'll find out as the story unfolds.
Well, I've got a theory, but I'll keep it to myself for now.
Well, you just said it.
No. I mean, I've got a theory about what the monster is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. As best as we can tell, this is the story of the Montauk Monster. I'm going to have a little sip of my drink.
Go for it. Is it actually drank? Are you doing cough syrup?
It's lean.
Cheeky little codeine.
It's a lovely bit of lean, yeah.
Yeah.
Needed to get through 3 of these a week.
Tell me about it.
Well, you've been
after all those storms.
You're huffing ether, aren't you?
Yeah, I like to do that on a Friday evening.
Oh yeah. By the way, the storms. Unsurprisingly, the British Isles did survive them.
Yeah. Well, most of it.
I mean, some pebbles got sucked into the sea or something, and a window blew out. I remember that was a news story.
Never forget.
So the byline on the Gorka Post belonged to one Richard Lawson, now Vanity Fair's chief film critic. But then a 20-something writer who had moved from Gorka's advertising sales team just a few months before. God, he sounds awful. Advertising sales. A PR agency had sent the soon-to-be famous photo of the Montauk Monster to Anna Holmes of Jezebel, Gorka's sister site, and she, reportedly believing it was some kind of viral marketing campaign, forwarded it to Larson. Within minutes of its posting, the story blew up. Drastic understatement, Lawson was surprised. I thought it was a dead thing that looked weird.
Yeah.
The grisly story was picked up by national outlets like Fox News and the Huffington Post and NBC. Experts who weighed in on the Montauk Monster's identity, one believing it was made of latex, were all working from only the notorious dubious photo.
That was my theory, made of latex.
Really?
Yeah. It looks, well, you could easily make this up. There's like a prop, couldn't you? Like a monster prop. That's the most likely explanation, I think.
Okay, Mr. Skeptical.
We'll see. How if there was an actual body.
Well, then it wouldn't be a mystery, would it? It would be a world-shattering unhinging of the natural order.
Just a species we've never seen before.
So anyone who wanted to see the beast in the flesh was out of luck. By the time the creature became known as the Montauk Monster, it was already gone.
Convenient.
The locals who spoke to the media in the weeks following discovery had vague and varied explanations of how and where the carcass disappeared, but shared a unified message: don't bother looking, you won't find it. In early 2008, an unidentified witness told Newsday that she had heard from people who had seen the monster after it was moved from ditch plains to an undisclosed residence. Now it's decomposed and it's just skull and bones, the witness said, noting that she'd seen the same photo of the creature on some people's phones and it was no bigger than a cat. She didn't explain how she was able to determine the animal's scalp from just those photos and dodged a reporter's question to see where the remains were buried. Jenny Hewitt also told Newsday that the carcass was rotting in the woods in a backyard of some guy she declined to identify. So
you just take it home and just let it rot on a patio. Yeah, wouldn't be my
back to
first
nature.
manoeuvre.
Yeah, let
Give it a decent burial, Chris.
Yeah, proper.
Do the final rites and.
Yeah. Do you pronounce?
Do Montauk Monsters have souls? I hope so.
Well,
you're going back to see your father in heaven.
Humans are monsters, aren't they?
Well, do the real monsters, as we've said many a time.
Do we have souls now? The answer is
probably not.
Probably not.
You can take the mechanistic bit. No.
It sounds like they interview people in the town. So,
yeah, got some killer info.
Well, do you reckon it was a way to drum up a bit of business around the town? Like,
I mean, to be fair, yeah. I mean, I suppose it's clever in a way to sort of keep the. I mean, I don't know what they say. I mean, we wouldn't just say, "Oh, it disappeared and we don't know." That's the tack I'd take. Not like, "Oh, it's in some geeze's patio and it's rotten away," or it's. So it'd be a skeleton. That would still, you could still get a.
So your DNA, couldn't you?
It. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could extract DNA from the teeth and so on and so forth,
or the marrow.
Yeah. So yeah, there would still be value in looking at that. But yeah, no, I suppose that is good because it reminds me of like there was another good hoax. There was another really stupid hoax where there was remember these couple of geese who claimed that they had a Bigfoot.
Oh yeah,
we took a photo of it in their freezer.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah,
and then eventually they had to sort of expose it, and it's just like.
Yeah, just a gorilla mask.
Yeah, it's gorilla mask, load of chicken giblets or something. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, you just, at the end, at some point, you're going to have to actually come up with the goods, and then it's all fucking going downhill. So yeah, I suppose it's clever in a way. Just no, I mean, I'm very much in the camp that it's probably like something that somebody made, and
okay, well,
let's take a photo, make it a mystery. But it's not going to drum up trade for anyone particular. I think it's just a little prank, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, it would because you've got news crews coming in. They're going to want to use a local restaurant. People will hear about it and think, oh, well, maybe let's drive up there for a little day trip, see if we see anything. Do something it's going to bring more people in than zero, isn't it? So, and people have money. Yeah, postcards, T-shirts.
It's that hot dog seller who mysteriously appeared selling through the...
Just a
follow the money, Chris. That's where it went.
So, Lauren Coleman, a veteran cryptozoologist based in Portland, Maine, knew about the Montauk Monster before most of us did. In fact, he named it. Well, there's a nice picture of him standing in front of a Bigfoot.
Nice.
Coleman told The Observer that he started getting messages from friends and colleagues about a curious carcass after it made local news on July 23rd, 2008, but before Gawker picked it up. And he was sceptical, but not for the reasons that some of us might be. After all, cryptozoology is a pseudoscience that takes folklore like Bigfoot and chupacabras very seriously. And Coleman is at the top of his field. A self-described fan of alliteration, he coined the term Dover Demon back in 1977 after a Massachusetts schoolboy swore on a stack of Bibles that he saw a devilish creature with glowing eyes and tendril-like fingers sitting on a stone wall in a distant Boston suburb.
So we've got to unpack that one a little bit, I'm afraid, Chris. So a schoolboy swore on what was that?
Stack of Bibles.
A stack of Bibles. So what I'm...
Not 1-0.
Yeah.
Not 2. That's not even 3.
That's the point.
A fucking stack.
Yeah. So is it like, well, you swear on the Bible, we wouldn't believe you?
No.
The stack. So I think they should apply this principle in court. You can swear on like the Bible, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
How sure are you that you saw them? I'm 4 Bibles short.
Yeah. How about 10?
No,
how about
not
a stack?
I'm not. How about a forklift pallet full of Bibles?
I'll tell you what. You make a building out of Bibles. I'll get in the middle of it and swear on all of them.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
So the schoolboy sworn it, and he was from Boston as well, so he's probably Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So he saw the stack of Bibles that he
the
saw.
thing is, you deceive. You're breaking one of the 10 Commandments there. So if you mislead witnesses
by coveting the devil's
by coveting
wife.
your neighbour's oxen, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Then you're bearing false witness, aren't you? So so you do that on one Bible, God's gonna, he ain't gonna be very happy with you. But
not at all.
We might let that slide.
Yeah, well, do you know what?
Stack of Bibles.
That's one in the bad column for when we do when we weigh up your heart against a feather. St. Peter does that, I think, doesn't he? I think that's it.
So Peter's going to absolutely fucking nut you if you.
But if you save an orphan, then you can wipe that out. But a whole stack of them, then that's however many Bibles. That's
well, you'd have to be like Mother Teresa or Elon Musk to overcome that kind of thing.
Maybe that's why she did it.
Yeah,
she swore on a stack of Bibles that she saw a devilish creature with glowing eyes and tendril white fingers in New Delhi or whatever.
She thought, God, I'm going to have to make up for this for the rest of my life by
but
giving really poor healthcare to poor people.
Forcing people to...
in a religious way, so,
Forcing people to convert to my religion before I'll give them any help, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we're saving their soul, Chris.
Yeah,
very more important than...
Yeah, maybe just give them the fucking penicillin, you prick.
No, more praying.
Prayercillin.
100% effective getting you into heaven, Chris.
Okay, if you say so now. But yeah, okay. So
and by fact, I mean it says that
in one of the many Bibles that you constantly,
the stack of Bibles that I'm sitting on currently.
that you're currently,
I swear on them. Yeah.
Oh well, there we go then.
Oh, there you go. Fact.
So just to let you know, it says it here. In his field, Coleman has plenty of admirers.
I'm sure he does.
I bet he does.
He's the top dog of cryptozoology.
Yeah.
He gets invited to all the best cryptozoology parties and conferences.
Yeah, there are a lot of people throwing their underwear at him, like Rod Stewart. Something like that. So here he goes. July 12th is my birthday. You didn't need to add that, mate. I'm not going to send you a present. July 12th is my birthday, and it says me who said stuff about my birthday earlier. And a lot of people around the world celebrate my birthday and send me all kinds of greetings, Coleman said.
Well, there you see. There you have it.
Lots of people around the world celebrate your birthday.
He's trying to encourage it, isn't he, obviously? Fair enough, a bit of hustle. Don't get nothing if you don't ask, Chris.
So I wondered if they were trying to hoax me. I was very suspicious of it at the beginning.
It seemed like too good to be true.
Said Coleman, who's got a massively inflated
sense of his own self-importance. Yeah. Well, this is clearly about me. Cryptozoologist, expert and noted sociopath.
Well, when millions around the world celebrate your birthday, you're going to get a few bad eggs.
Look, don't get me wrong. I'm only, maybe only 20-25% of the Earth's population are aware of my birthday.
Consider themselves Colemanites.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, that's nothing major.
We're all moving to Mars, Coleman said he tried to make arrangements to see the monster for himself. It wasn't impossible for me to get to New York in my private jet, he said. I was open to taking a look, but nobody would produce it.
Did he really said in his private jet? This is a cryptozoologist with a private jet. I was going to say, it's fucking bonds of fucking cryptozoologists.
He tried to make contact with the 3 women who took the photo, but just like the carcass, they seemed to disappear. These people put up a brick wall around themselves.
That's not at all dodgy and telling.
I met with this wall in the last few weeks while trying to dig up some answers. The answers were much harder to come by than I initially, perhaps naively, believed they would be. I reached out to the key players and I was able to identify in an effort to discover what became of the beast after it was taken from its temporary resting place on the shore. Despite many of those same people being more than eager to talk about it from all angles back in 2008, my inquiries have been largely ignored. Eric Olson, a surfer and
Who's silencing the Montauk Monster?
Well, could
It's
it
been
be
cancelled, hasn't it?
Eric
Olson?
Olson?
By with a shin, Chris.
Eric Olson, a surfer and real estate agent. It sounds insufferable.
Yeah.
Who told the East Hampton Star?
The barefoot realtor.
Hey, come on, guy. Look, I'm just a chill guy who wants to get you in a good pad, you know.
Just passionate about space, yeah. Inner and outer.
Hey, look, I just want to get you somewhere that suits your vibe. Yeah. So he told the East Hampton Star that he removed the carcass and left it to decompose on his friend's property so they could preserve the bones and give it to a fashion photographer for a Damien Hirsty art project. God, he sounds terrible.
Yeah, what a prize cunt this guy sounds like. I mean, all of this is made up, but yeah, imagine your first reaction is, like, well, let's
hey, man, you know what? Like, yeah, I'm going to make some wind chimes out of this bad boy.
Yeah. Like, if you actually discover Bigfoot corpse or something, you're like, oh, let's turn it into a fucking album for an album cover for a shitty indie band. Do you think we would have done that 15 years ago?
What?
You know, if one of our music projects had taken off, you know, stick a Bigfoot thing on the album, try and get yourself a bit of extra.
Well, find an actual Bigfoot, kill it, and then put it on the album cover.
No, just say we stumbled across one. Let's assume we're hiking in, I don't know,
Crawley.
Yeah, Crawley. And we stumble across undisputable evidence of a Yeti or a Bigfoot or something.
Use it to promote the bands rather than for the scientific advancement of mankind.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would have done that. I'll do it now for the podcast.
Ah, fair enough.
Wouldn't you? Maybe you're not committed enough.
That's true.
I'd like to find a chupacabra and get a fashion photographer to come in and take pictures of its bones with us, with our podding gear on in front of it for a Damien Hirsty style art project. So he did not respond to a message that I sent on Facebook. And the only place I could find him, neither the fashion photographer nor the reported owner of this property where Olson left the monster before it was stolen, he said, have responded to a request for an interview. I only talked to the waves. Yeah. I briefly corresponded with a man who ran a blog about the Montauk Monster for several years, who eventually said that talking to the media about it just don't feel the most aligned for me.
Fair enough. What do we mean by that?
Interesting. Doesn't feel the most aligned for me. Aligned with what? He refused to respond to two direct questions, asking to confirm that he saw the monster himself, a claim he made on his blog. You can't trust a blog post, who can you trust?
Well, no, they're not there.
So, I got an email reply from Rachel Goldberg, but her response was less than enthusiastic. Goldberg, who appears to live in Hawaii now, said that talking about the Montauk Monster all these years later wasn't a priority for her and her friends. She signed off her terse message with aloha, which of course means both hello and goodbye, in case you didn't know.
I think it meant more goodbye in this instance, let's be honest.
It can also mean fuck off.
I think I'm getting some good stuff. That's a good one, though. I'm going to have to use that. It's not a priority for me at the moment. Do you want to do that work you said you were going to do? No, that's
not really priority for me at the moment. Aloha.
Aloha. Yeah. Definitely what being in Hawaii.
You're going to change your work signature. Instead of kind regards, it's aloha. But
do you know that could mean hello? It could mean goodbye.
In this case, it means goodbye.
In your case, it's usually
in brackets. So, the summer of 2008 was a cultural tipping point for Mohawk. Mohawk?
Yeah, the Mohawk Monster.
The Mohawk Monster.
The punk version of the Montauk Monster.
Yeah. The summer of 2008 was it's Friday night. Summer of 2008 was a cultural tipping point for Montauk. It marked the opening of the Surf Lodge, an ultra-trendy waterfront bar that drew the once sleepy beach community, a city crowd accustomed to claiming attractive scenery as their own after discovering it, regardless of who was there before. Tell you what, I bet Eric Olsen, if that's his name, probably loved that.
Oh, he's all about it. He's probably invested in the concept.
Well, yeah, the Surf Lodge. Yeah, of course. And real estate.
Speaks to both of his passions, real estate and surfing.
Yeah. And
riding the waves, being tubular.
Artsy crowds. Yeah. Being cowabunga.
Yeah. Being part of the scene. Excluding nerdliness.
I am the scene. In subsequent years, Montauk and its neighbouring East Hampton, already plundered by hordes of city rats, would be absorbed into mainstream popular culture. First with the network TV drama Revenge, which was set in East Hampton and debuted in 2011, and later with the Showtime series The Affair, which put the spotlight firmly on Montauk, which had
McNulty in it, didn't it? Dominic West.
Yeah.
And
I don't know West in it.
I've forgotten the lady's name. She was in Luther. She's a very good actress. Ruth Wilson.
There you go. Perhaps to the...
Never seen it, though.
Nah, it's not my cup of tea.
Really good.
Romance.
Too
much kissing.
Oh, really?
Well, it's about an affair, isn't it?
No, that's true. I would imagine so.
I don't care. Fucking bang who you want. Stop telling me about it.
We had plenty of them in The Wire. There was other stuff going on.
Yeah, there's other stuff going on.
No, he was basically knobbing anything that would move, wasn't
he? Yeah, absolutely. So perhaps to the chagrin of locals who would have preferred to keep their beaches and secrets to themselves. The Affair depicted the year-round residents of Montauk as a somewhat tragic and very fucking shady. There's a small-scale drug trafficking, crooked real estate deals, and a fatal hit and run. High school nemesis who conveniently end up as your prison guards, and more than one titular infidelity. Of course, it's a scripted television show. Still, an acquaintance who I spoke to at the early stage of researching this story told me, in what sounded like a warning, that Montauk is a place with lots of secrets.
I mean, this is turning into more of a TV review and less of a monster hunt now, but hey.
Yeah, whatever, man. It's just words, isn't it?
Yeah. Is this like gonzo journalism? Did he get paid by the word for this, do you think?
I think absolutely, yeah. I think 100%.
We asked you for a story about the humanitarian crisis in whatever, and you put in a
but Neil,
30,000 word blog at the Montauk Monster.
This is the Observer.
That's true.
Is the true story of the Montauk Monster one of them, or was the monster a kind of symbolic warning in itself, cautioning the jitney come latelys to stay away? What's a jitney come lately? Shouldn't it be Johnny come lately normally, isn't it?
I assume there's some reference. Jitney.
Yeah.
How are you spelling that?
Jitney.
Is that a common name in
Don't know.
that part
and did someone place it there with precisely that intent to spook the invaders?
Really? A couple of what? One cat-sized crypto creature is going to scare off.
Neil, it's a theory, isn't it? It is a theory.
It's a very stupid theory, yeah. That absolutely doesn't support what I'll charitably call facts.
Well, it's a theory. A couple of weeks after I first laid my eyes on the creature, I would be amongst the colonizers. In my memory, Montauk was still abuzz with chatter about the mysterious beast. I think I remember talking about it with the shuttle driver from Montauk Manor who drove us to the beach, not far from where the rotting carcass washed up. I definitely remember the surf being so strong that it would fling you face down in ankle-deep water, dragging your body over the rocky shoreline as you struggled to get to your feet. I could have sworn I remember the Montauk Monster was the topic du jour when I visited friends who had rented a house. That felt like it was miles and miles from the beach. I thought I heard the owners of the property had somehow claimed the corpse, that it could be anywhere underfoot. But no one I spoke to who was there at the time remembers it anywhere near the same way I do.
They're all so over it. Why stop living in the past?
Hey, let's go down to the surface point.
Yeah, we found an unexplainable creature. Whatever, man. That was 2008.
The guys from Jersey Shore are coming down to do a stage show, to do a vest signing.
Nice. My new trainer sideline on.
The Situation's coming down.
Oh,
and
that'd be awful, wouldn't it?
And Moogsy. I don't know. Is that a name?
I've no idea. I have sadly heard of the Situation.
Yeah, so have I.
Fucking hell, imagine calling yourself that.
It's funny.
For fuck's sake.
I mean, saying it without irony isn't good, but saying it with irony is good.
Yeah, fair enough. You have to hope that it's tongue-in-cheek, don't you?
Well, your guitar name used to be Neil the Power Herbert, so...
Well, I didn't come up with it myself, did I?
Yeah,
I never addressed myself as, that's it.
But you didn't fight it.
Reasonable nickname, better than the usual.
Oh, here we go. Oh, it's all right for you.
Well.
The power.
Yeah, but if I was on like a reality TV show, I wouldn't turn up and go, "Hey, I'm the power." Or it's like, I think I've told you this story before, but I don't think I've said it in the podcast. But when we're down the Gloucester, I first met this guy, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Silver," and of course, Silver wasn't his real name, and it's like I just made up a policy there, and then it's like I'm not going to ask. Clearly, I was going to be like, "Oh, that's an unusual name. Where'd that come from?"
Yeah,
and it's like, "Well, I feel like I've got a really silver energy, or whatever." You know, it's like, "Yeah, you silver, right? Yeah, okay, fine."
Yeah,
fast pint. Yeah.
Mind if I call you Steve?
Yeah, tell us your real name at some point, and have to keep using that embarrassing one. Yeah, I'll tell you what's happened here, Silver. You've just embarrassed yourself in front of me. So I don't know if you were trying to impress. But
you should have mistakenly kept calling him different metals.
Yeah,
that was what I would do.
All right, Rosie.
Hi, Nickel.
Right, right, Mercury.
Hi, Europium.
Yeah.
So, if there's anything consistent in the twisted tale of the Montauk Monster, it's that people's recollections of it don't seem to line up.
Yeah, you're copper at best. Anyway, sorry.
Is that only a function of the passage of time, or is everyone hiding everything? And who or what would be spooking them into keeping quiet? I like the idea of the monster being a kind of omen of what was going to befall Montauk, Lawson said. He also said the story almost didn't happen. Gawker's founder and CEO, Nick Denton, or as I call him, Denty, had been away on vacation.
This article is absolutely insufferable.
I don't know. I added the Denty bit. Denty.
Oh, okay.
Had been away. No, it's me who's insufferable. Had been away on vacation.
Oh, we knew that, Chris. Don't worry.
I mean, this article's one paragraph. I'm filling in.
You're just drawing out
of this.
Fair enough.
So Dente had been away on vacation when the photo landed in Lawson's inbox, and a reporter says he believes the story wouldn't have been published if Dente had been there to kill it. It's always been my suspicion because it seemed a little too goofy, Lawson said. It didn't have this edge to it.
Oh no!
At the time,
goofy for Gawker.
It's edgy. Could be edge. Yeah. Edgelord.
Straight edge.
Yeah. At the time, Nick Layton was working for Plum TV, a Hamptons-based cable station that no longer exists. Good job. He interviewed Goldberg, Hewitt, and Fruin on the patio of the Surf Lodge on July 31st, 2 days after the Gawker story hit. It felt like Frost Nixon, Layton said, presumably tongue firmly in cheek.
Yeah.
He shared a video of the interview with The Observer. The girls have cocktails in front of them, their eyes hiding behind sunglasses. They are less than animated as they answer the questions about stumbling upon the Montauk Monster and downright evasive about what happened to the body after it mysteriously vanished.
They'd signed an NDA. They couldn't disclose.
Couldn't, no. Well, the government had their families.
Yeah, they got men in black.
Yeah.
Or a witch put a spell on them.
Could be.
Probably Hannah Cranner.
Maybe. Maybe, no. It's not
a
far
final
away.
act.
They said it was sealed in some kind of box, Leighton said. I was definitely a little suspicious during the interview. But in the video, Goldberg has the digital camera they used to take the infamous photo and showed Leighton that and a second image from another angle. It seems pretty legit, but as Leighton pointed out, it's not that you can't upload a photo back into the camera. I mean, again, I think you're taking the technical route. Like,
it's not that
it's some sort of Photoshop.
That doesn't,
that it's some sort of Photoshop thing rather than just like you said,
you could easily make a
later
prop that looks like this. So that's
if I was today, Nick, I would have asked that question. 2008, Nick, just let it go. We were all sort of playing our role in the game.
We've all got our regrets, Nick.
Yeah, well, doesn't sleep at night anymore. Wife left him.
If only.
The kids don't want to see him.
That poor murdered Montauk Monster could have been avenged.
Living on a street corner. Part of that game was a conspiracy theory coyly promoted in the interview that the Montauk Monster was an escaped experiment from nearby Plum Island, a highly secretive animal research facility that is the subject of sinister rumours. But there is no evidence that Plum Island has anything to do with the Montauk Monster.
That's what they want you to think.
Well, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, it's... Yeah, I mean, almost you kind of... If there's an animal research facility there, there's going to be people who are against it. And maybe, like, the Montauk Monster was to shed light on it, maybe get people to shut the animal research thing down or whatever. See what's going on there.
Yeah, they're breeding monsters, literally.
Well, I mean, there was that weird animal research one down in Florida, wasn't there, where the skunk ape was hanging about, and they actually have, like, fucking orangutans and stuff that they do research on, which I didn't think was illegal. Well, I didn't think was legal, but...
I think it's extremely restricted climate research, but yeah. I mean, I don't know why you do it on orangutans particularly. But...
No.
Bit of a laugh, innit?
Yeah, it's a laugh.
You can really gangly limbs.
You can really see the pain in their eyes.
Yeah, beautiful.
You know, the begging for their lives. Leighton said he visited the facility about 2 years later, unrelated to the monster, after deciding to film an episode for a show he was producing at the time on Plum Island. He had to go through a government approval process to bring a crew to the Animal Disease Centre, even though they were only given access to the lab with the lowest levels of security. A pregnant crew member opted out on the trip on doctor's orders. Leighton said they were able to bring food and drink to the island, but nothing could leave with them, not even an unopened bottle of water. He's certain that the Montauk Monster didn't come from Plum Island. The security is such that I feel comfortable eliminating that theory. It seems inconceivable that they would let their mutants escape.
Keep them firmly caged.
Yep.
They've learnt their lesson from Jurassic Park.
Well, exactly, or Toxic Crusaders.
Yeah.
Leighton said that he had heard that the Montauk Monster was torched at sea in a Viking funeral.
Yes. So theory, again, this is as good a theory as any other that's coming out.
That's how they got rid of it, yeah.
Yeah.
There may have been, this may have been a reference to an alternative origin story that emerged almost a year after the first story broke.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, if that is what happened, I want to see photos of that.
What, the Viking funeral?
Just a tiny little boat while they're all firing arrows at it. That'd be a scene I wouldn't mind watching.
Farewell to Valhalla.
Godspeed.
Let the Valkyries take you by your stump arms up to Valhalla.
Flights of chupacabras.
Where you will battle and feast. So, according to a June 2009 report in Gawker, Drew Grant, formerly an editor at The Observer, wrote a since-deleted post on the now defunct blog ASSME, Association of Shit-Canned Media Elites, about meeting up with an old friend who claimed to have...
defunct 2000s era media here.
Who claimed to have created the monster. The unnamed friend reportedly told Grant that he and some pals had stumbled across a dead raccoon the weekend before the July 4th holiday, when he was cavorting at Shelter Island with activities that included a waterboarding endurance competition and a clothes pins on your genitals challenge.
Sound like fun, lads.
Let's
have a good time.
Rugby players.
Yeah. Stick up his ass.
How many
Chug.
5Ps can you get under your foreskin? Gorka provided.
Next.
Gorka provided a detailed argument about the plausibility of the carcass making its way from Shelter Island, where it washed up into ditched plains, not very likely, but certainly not impossible, and published an image that appeared to show the raccoon's corpse on an inflatable tube, which was weighed by a watermelon. Another photo showed the makeshift vessel floating in the water, consumed by fire. So these lads on their drinking thing where they're trying to show how tough
play around with some raccoon corpses.
Yeah.
Give a Viking funeral.
Doesn't sound related to me.
No. Just some unrelated twattery. Yeah.
Well, so he's going, oh, yeah, I made it. We were there putting clothespins on our penises and waterboarding ourselves like you do.
Typical Saturday night.
Yeah, just good old fashioned male bonding.
Yeah.
We found a raccoon corpse.
Yeah.
Will fucked it, obviously.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
See who could last the longest, and then we put it on
Sting. He went 18 hours with his tantric maneuvers.
Yeah, it's one of the good lad. Good.
I got a standing ovation for that.
Yeah, fantastic. Didn't last very long with the waterboarding though. So
squealing out
in Geordie. And then we popped it on a raft, and then we burnt it, and then lo and behold, we think that's what washed up on the beach 10 miles away over there. So yeah, that was us. We created it.
It's a theory.
So in keeping with all the murky trails leading to and away from the Montauk Monster, Grant's recollection 9 years later varies from the account published in Gorka. The old friend credited with the burial at sea was actually a patron at a bar where Grant worked that summer. She couldn't remember his name, she said, but remembered that she promised him never to use it. He was afraid he'd find trouble with animal activists. Grant said she only saw him at the bar a few times after that and wasn't sure if he was based in Long Island or in the city.
I'm everywhere. I'm the barefoot realtor.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Was that do you reckon it's him?
Like the A-team, if you need me, you'll find me.
So Grant describes the story of the Montauk Monster as a shady one. It was going to be one of those mysteries forever, she said, and she found a Viking funeral story credible. Maybe that's why you were shit canned from the media. My thought was, this is exactly what happened.
Absolutely plausible. Yeah.
So the cryptozoologist would agree that the story has credibility. Lauren Coleman is certain that the Montauk Monster was a decomposing raccoon. All you had to do was look at it and know a little bit about zoology, which I do, and you could see it was a barely second-day disintegration and decaying of a raccoon's body, Coleman said. He went on to explain in great detail a process he called skin flipping, which was unrelated. This can happen to a body being tossed around in the surf and purportedly accounts for why the animal's facial structure appeared distorted, although it had a beak. In short, the normal decompression process combined with the movement through rough water can cause slippage between the surface skin and the underlying flat. It's disgusting, Holmes said. While the cryptozoologist dismissed any more of the fanciful explanations for the Montauk Monster, he believes the story started a trend of cryptid sightings. Very quickly, after that, quote unquote, Montauk Monsters started showing up all around the world, Coleman said.
Yeah.
Putting himself at the centre of the story paid off. Coleman said that the marketers of the Venom energy drink asked him to provide a quote that they could use in the campaign to promote a Montauk Monster themed beverage. I turned around and they paid me £1,000, Coleman said. I felt like I was cheating them or something.
If they're mug enough to make that offer, you take it.
Local news reports from summer 2008 suggest some of the skeptics felt the women who took the photo were possibly trying to cash in themselves. Newsday posted the question to Jenna Hewitt's father, who dismissed rumours that his daughter and her friends were aiming to earn a profit. There is no indication the woman ever earned anything more than comped cocktails at the surf lodge for the discovery of the Montauk Monster. Still, Goldberg told The Observer she would only consider giving an interview for a fee. She didn't respond to a follow-up question asking the nature of her terms. You couldn't afford me.
20 quid day.
If the young woman's involvement in the tale of the Montauk Monster really is innocent, as Coleman believes, they got caught up in a monster media storm through no fault or intention of their own. It's easy to understand why they might be resentful. Maybe the Montauk Monster is just another local intrigue that the year-rounders tried and failed to keep to themselves.
In fairness, if it was just a washed-up raccoon corpse and you just took a photo of it and then, people still asking you about it 15 years later, then I suppose you would get a bit irritated.
I would be cashing in as much as possible.
Yeah, but that's the point, is you're not being able to make any cash out, are you?
Well, yeah.
Other than this guy who apparently managed to get a grand for
this
some
fucking
energy drink or
grifter.
something. I don't know what
Yeah,
that was
but he's much admired. So
there you go. Got to get big in the cryptozoology game, ladies. That's what you got to do.
Exactly. Looking back to but you would imagine you could. I feel like you could earn a fair bit of bumps by going to like cryptozoology conferences and that kind of thing, because I'm sure there's loads of them in America. Going around, give a little talk, sign some stuff, sell some shit. I reckon you could.
Got to grind.
Got to grind. Get up and grind. Looking back to that summer is like peering at Long Island's easternmost tip through a sepia-toned Instagram filter. The only view of Montauk I can afford in the years is it's become a lobster roll-filled playground for 1%ers. It's hard to imagine how the discovery of the Montauk Monster might have played out if it happened 10 years later. Lawson said he's never been to Montauk before his Gawker post went viral. But the story of the Montauk Monster still haunts him. Lawson said that he had opted out of the traffic-based compensation model that Gawker offered at the time, and that had he been paid on the commission, he would have made about £9,000 from that one post alone. I think I spent the rest of the summer just thinking about the money.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Ask him what he thinks of the Montauk Monster's inner circle clamming up over the years. Lawson was in two minds. Maybe there's a silliness they just don't want to be associated with, he said, or they're part of the conspiracy, and it is really a monster. So the identifications, and this is off Wikipedia, that have been made of it are raccoons, but the legs appear to be too long in proportion to the body. A sea turtle, but sea turtles don't have fur or teeth.
Yeah.
A rodent. Rodents have two large, distinctive incisor teeth in front of their mouth, which this does not. A dog or another canine, such as coyote. The corpse is dog-like, but the eye ridge and feet do not match. Or a sheep or another ovine. Although the face looks somewhat ovine, sheep do not have sharp teeth. And paleozoologist, which is like a cryptozoologist, but worse. It's not, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Darren Naish studied the photograph and concluded from the corpse's visible dentation, skull shape, and front paws, the creature was a raccoon.
Oh, there you go.
With its extremely odd appearance, mainly a byproduct of decomposition and water action removing most of the animal's hair and some of its flesh. Naish disagreed with the idea that the legs are disproportionately long for a raccoon, providing an illustration of a raccoon's body superimposed over a corpse in the photograph. Jeff Corwin also identified the carcass as that of a raccoon in a Fox News interview.
Well, there you go. If it's
so possibly a raccoon.
So that story that they told about the Viking funeral may have been where it came from after all.
Well, I think no. I
must confess that wasn't my first guess.
No, but I think if they'd burnt it, it would have looked different to that.
Don't know. Once it's been in the sea for a while, who knows?
Yeah, no. But if you burn it, you would imagine that it would incinerate more of the body because the body looks fairly
untouched. Yeah, but maybe it just burnt off all of the fur. I mean, I wouldn't imagine these are the most capable arsonists, but anyway, who knows?
What do you mean? Everyone's capable after shoving clothespins in their penis and waterboarding themselves.
No, I don't know. I just like, because presumably they sent it out on the sea or something as a burn. So maybe it's sort of like, burnt all the fur off, fell out, and then.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I'm just saying it could be. It could be.
Yeah, so it could be now. Or.
Lots of maybes.
Could be a monster.
I mean, more like a decomposing raccoon by the sound of it, but fair enough.
It does sound like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is a shame because raccoons are nice.
But, people bring to it what they want.
Yeah.
You see a decomposing raccoon, I see an entirely new species.
But you can imagine that in the past, stuff like this would have happened in the past as well.
Yeah.
And so you can see where some of these
stories come from. Yeah.
Yeah, because they would have thought it was a demon or something, wouldn't they, in the 16th century or something, if that had turned up on the beach. I think it was because it looks like it's all beak and teeth, and they'd have thought it was
to come out of hell.
Could be a dead griffin, shouldn't it?
Yeah, probably.
So, Neil, that is the very long tale of the Montauk Monster. Would you like to go through the scoring system?
I would love to do that, Chris.
And we had to do it because it is a famous one. But
I thought
there's going to be more. I thought there's going to be more theories and stuff around it.
There was a lot more,
chat about Montauk,
chat about real estate and groovy bars and stuff. But hey, it's all colourful characters.
Hey, I wouldn't mind going there.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, Neil, spookiness.
I mean, it's not very spooky, is it?
No.
Like the monster isn't going out attacking people and stuff like that. It's just washed up dead. So it's more pitiable than anything.
But what's going on in that testing facility?
Well, that's only if you assume it's come out of that. They're breeding monsters, but I mean, why would you breed cat-sized raccoon type things?
You start small and blow them up.
That's true. Yeah, make it go to incredible sizes by breeding it with woolly mammoths.
It was just a Hello World prototype.
Yeah. No. So it's there's not really anything particularly spooky here. It's mysterious, if you like, but not too spooky. So I'm going to give it a 2.
2. So I think that I'm thinking, like, if you're these women having a nice walk and you came across this, it would be quite spooky. Because it doesn't look like anything that you would
take photographs of.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's quite spooky looking. I think, like, what the fuck is that? Like, if I'm not saying you'd like run off screaming, but I think it would make you. It would give you some sort of weird feelings.
Yeah, fair enough.
Negative feelings, I think, not positive.
He's quite an attractive little fella.
Yeah, but that would be a negative. But I consider that a negative feeling because it'd be like, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I so?
Why am I so erotically charged to this rotting raccoon?
Why am I so drawn to this?
Yeah.
What's wrong? Like, is anyone going to see what's going on downstairs? It would, because it is actually something and it's real, right? It's not like there's shadow monster or whatever. Like, so you're actually coming across something that you haven't seen and it's horrible looking and it, in real life, right? It's an actual physical thing. So, so I think I'm going to give it, because it's real.
Right. Okay.
So I'm going to give it a 5.
This is what you've kind of combined 2 categories there, but that's fine.
I'm allowed to do what I want.
You do what you want. I don't give a shit. Just give it a number.
Why are you bringing it up then? You clearly do.
No,
We'll talk about this off air.
Just making a point.
Yeah, all right, Mr. 0.5. Believability. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm erring on the side that I'm erring on the raccoon side, and I think they found something. But do I believe that it's a monster or something from the labs or a mutant or something? Probably not. But it exists, so it's believable. So I'm going to give it a 7-0.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going to split the diff on this one because, yes, I'm prepared. Given that 2 people have identified it as a decomposing raccoon, fair enough. It did wash up, so it's a real, it's entirely possible that it was just a raccoon that washed up. Whether it was one that had been given a Viking funeral earlier on in the night is open to speculation. But but that seems reasonable to me. So believability in terms of this thing washing up, and then actually, if you saw that, you wouldn't necessarily, you're not going to know. You would think that was something weird and different. So believing that it's a monster or anything else, though, that's kind of like a lot less believable. So I'm going to split and I'll give it a 5.
5, okay. Now to premise, Neil.
I mean, it's not. I think, because there is an air of mystery. I think it should have to be like some sort of Twin Peaks thing where they just, you have a central mystery, but you never actually try and solve it. It's just never,
It's more about what
and you
happens
get a lot
around
of colourful characters around Montauk who. I think what gives it a little bit more. I mean,
having all the fairs and stuff.
Yeah. So they sound mildly insufferable, the people surrounding it, but hey, at least they're a bit bohemian and stuff, so that's something. So I think you could turn this into some like not really the monster itself, but just leads us into some like Beverly Hills 90210 type scenario. So it's a fairly bland. So I'm going to give it a 5.
Hey Eric, you gonna come and hit the surf with me? Oh man, I've got to sell this I've got to sell this condo first. Yeah. Oh man, but the waves are tubular. Oh no. You gave it a 5.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, there's not a lot to it. I like your idea, but I mean, it's just an event rather than a story, isn't it?
Yeah,
something washed up.
There's not much more you can say about
it.
I'm
going to give it 2.
Fair enough.
And Reach. So it was. I certainly saw it at the time. It did go pretty viral. If you were on the internet, then you would have sort of seen it. And it was pretty global as well. So it's decent. I'm going to give it 7-0.
Oh wow, that's probably a bit more generous than me.
Just because I've a generous heart.
Yeah, that's true. You had a Montauk Monster-sized hole in your heart, and this has now filled it.
It has.
If the Montauk Monster did not exist, people would have had to have invented him. What was it again? Oh yeah, Reach. So I think the only I'm not going to give this fair enough. Take all that it's on Gawker, it's on a load of other things. It probably is reasonably well known at the moment. The reason I'm not going to give it a high score is because I can't see it knocking around that much longer. Very much of its period, and I think this will be forgotten about in 10 years' time.
So what you're doing here, you criticised my scoring earlier, but now you're claiming to have knowledge of the future.
Yeah. Well, no, that's because I do have uncanny powers.
Oh, okay. I mean, looking at the cards.
No, what you did was you crossed two different things together.
Whereas you're reaching.
Where they have separate scoring there for that reason.
Whereas you're reaching through space-time continuum.
I've not crossed any of the boundaries, Chris. I'm simply using use of my uncanny powers.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Which is entirely different sin.
Okay. Well, not going to argue with you. You're a lawyer.
And ending me up in a 5.
5. Okay, well, that gives us an overall score of 38. So not too bad.
Fun little story.
And if you've got any...
I mean, out of a decomposing raccoon corpse, that's probably about as much as you get out of it, really.
Just shows you, people say about the past that people made a big thing about things because they were bored and they didn't have TV or internet or anything, but we still do it now. So,
you might think you're better than a decaying raccoon corpse, but have you made a viral meme on Twitter?
No, not yet.
Yeah. No, you haven't, have you?
No,
reevaluate your life.
I'm hoping when my
wasn't
bloated.
aimed at you particularly, Chris. I was,
Oh, I was
more asking our listeners to look into their hearts and
okay.
see where they rank against the decomposing raccoon corpse.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, it's given me some fucking perspective.
Yeah, well, I'm going to. I'm hoping that my bloated corpse washes up on the beach at some time on Sunday if I got the tides right. I'm going to have made some
adjustments,
rather strange alterations to my own body before I pop myself in. You can follow us on the Twitter or X or whatever at Legends Urbane, or email us at urbane.legends.pods@gmail.com. I know you won't, and you can do the stuff like leave a comment and stuff on your podcast app if you would, please. But yeah, there we go. That's another one, and only four left. Bag. Only four left of the series now. So
4 left. Wow, we're gonna have to think about our finale.
Exactly,
leaving a big one, rocking big one.
And it's a good, and it's a good time for me to be made redundant and put on gardening leave because it means that I've got time to set up all of the new series stuff. Yeah, it's going to be. We're going for a data-based approach, aren't we?
Okay.
Yeah, like Moneyball.
Yeah, we're going to see what will attract the most listeners.
Yeah. So it's going to be back to back witches and UFOs.
Beautiful.
Our two least
popular.
Cool. Well, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you do, whoever you see, whoever you love, whoever you be, have a nice week. And we'll see you same time next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.